Welcome to the AskJordan Podcast, answering your questions about selling on Amazon. Now, he's flipped more toys than a stadium full of toddlers. From Long Island, New York, here's your host, Jordan Malik.
Hello, listeners. This is Jordan Malik, host of the AskJordan.net podcast. This is our 18th podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You make the show. Your calls make the show. Your listenership makes the show. If it wasn't for you, this show wouldn't exist. So thank you very much. Every episode, we answer one question from you about selling on Amazon. So if you missed any of our other podcasts, please go to AskJordan.net and you'll be able to instantly listen to our previous podcasts or download them on iTunes. You can get 7 of my best-selling ebooks if your question is answered on this podcast. So at the end of the podcast, in just a few minutes, I'll tell you exactly how to do that. Today's question is from Brad, and it's about sales rank. Go ahead, Brad.
Hey, Jordan, Brad Gutterich. I wanted to ask you, first, appreciate all your podcasts. They're wonderful. I've caught up on all of them. The question I have is, do you have a ratio of what you buy and source, something like margin and rank, and, you know, is there any kind of formula, so to speak, that you use that allows you to, as you're scouting and sourcing, kind of know what to go for? So, for example, if it's no rank but great margin, if it's really good rank, tighter margins. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at your ratio. Do you ever not list anything that's over $1 million rank, whatever that may be? If there's some scenarios there that you could go into, that would be wonderful. Thanks. Hope to hear it. Have a great weekend.
Brad, that's a great question. Thank you. So one of the major questions that a lot of new Amazon sellers have is sales rank. Amazon, in many cases, not all, will list what's called a bestseller rank in the description of a product. And that bestseller rank gives you an inclination of how popular or how quickly an item is selling in that moment of time. I think a lot of sellers focus too much on sales rank. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I use some general guidelines I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to give this is normally $2.99 in the Kindle store. I'm going to give everybody the PDF version for free, the same exact ebook. Here's a redirect. This is a book that I wrote. It's called Amazon.com's Sales Rank Decoded, Bestseller Rank Decoded. And Amazon doesn't let anybody know how they actually calculate sales rank. So we'll never know that. That's kind of like a proprietary thing. But in my book, I don't literally decode the sales rank. I just decode it in a way that makes sense to me. And I'm going to share that with you. It's free for you. So here's a redirect to the ebook. You can print it or download it instantly. bit.ly/ACSRD, the letters ACSRD, all lowercase. bit.ly, B as in boy, I as in indigo, T as in Thomas, dot, L as in Larry, Y as in yellow, /, A as in Amazon, C as in communication, S as in seller, R as in rank, D as in decoded. bit.ly/ACSRD. Now, for you also to get some context around what you're reading, I also recommend this page by Seller Engine. It's another redirect. It's bit.ly/SEDASR. That's all lowercase all together. bit.ly/S as in seller, E as in engine, D as in decode, A as in apple, S as in seller, R as in ready. So the interesting thing is that Amazon's electronics category, Amazon hide the bestseller rank, in many cases or in all cases. And it's really just a snapshot in time of where the item, how popular the item is in terms of sales. Right, so one day there's like 10 million books, 10 over 10, maybe it's like 12 million books on Amazon. You could see a book on Amazon that one day has a sales rank of 600,000, let's just say, okay, which is pretty good. not the best, but it's pretty good. It's in the top 6% or so, top 5%. Because there's 12 million books in Amazon. I'm just guessing what the number is. It's probably 12 million. And because it's ranked 600,000, so you can roughly say that's in the top 5% in terms of sales. But if it sells one copy, that sales rank could jump up to something like 100,000. Jump up meaning improve. It could improve. The lower the number, the better the hotter the product, right? So if a product has a sales rank of 1 or 2 or 10 or whatever, it's an extremely hot product. The product has a sales rank of 3 million, it's very slow selling, right? But the sales rank is always changing. So when sellers focus too much on sales rank, they could be missing out on an opportunity. I'm going to give you an example. If there's no stock of an item in Amazon, the item is sold out, and it has a sales rank of 6 million. Well, that's because there hasn't been any stock. There has been 0 sales of that item. So the sales rank compared to other items on Amazon keeps getting worse. It keeps going to, we probably started at 100,000 and it went to 6 million because there's been no stock of it for a year. But you can almost guarantee if you restock that item, if you happen to find that item and restock it, there's somebody out there who's looking for that item. And somebody's going to buy it. Just because it's a sales rank of 6 million doesn't mean necessarily you have to ignore it, right? Somebody's going to end up buying it, and that sales rank, by the way, it's not going to matter to you because you've only supplied one. But that sales rank is probably going to jump from 6 million to 500,000, right? It's going to improve dramatically. The other thing to think about is when you're looking at a quote unquote poor sales rank, make sure you check the reviews, particularly non-media, like electronics or toys or kitchen items. If an item has a sales rank of 1,000, which is excellent, but the reviews are really bad, it maybe has 1.5 star reviews on average, and you probably want to avoid that item because it's being bought by a lot of people, but they're probably returning it because it's got poor product reviews. People are only giving it 1.5 stars on average. The opposite may be true. You may find something with a 1 million sales rank in kitchen and dining, and thus with a 1 million sales rank, it's going to be a very slow seller, but the reviews might be excellent. Maybe it's a reliable item. Just because an item has a quote unquote poor sales rank, I don't ignore them entirely. The guidelines I give you in the ebook I just mentioned are just my general guidelines. But I don't ignore an item because it's got a just for the fact of the sales rank being quote unquote poor, meaning if it's got a 500,000 sales rank in toys or a 1 million sales rank in books. Because if the number of sellers is low enough where I'm the only seller or one of maybe 2 sellers, I'll still consider that because there's not a lot of competition for that product. So I hope that helps you, Brad. Brad gets 7 of my best-selling ebooks about selling on Amazon and eBay. One of them is the Sales Rank Decoded book that I just mentioned. Altogether, they're worth over $75 total. Brad, you can contact me at AskJordan.net. Click on the little envelope near the upper right-hand corner of the page under the Contact Me section. Send me an email so I know where to send those ebooks to. If you, the listener, if you have a question about selling on Amazon you'd like answered, go to AskJordan.net or call 516-619 That's 516-619-6654. If I pick your question to answer, you'll get 7 of my best-selling ebooks just like Brad. Their total price for everyone else is over $75, and you'll get to hear your voice on my podcast. While you're at AskJordan.net, please subscribe to my free newsletter. I give away a lot of strategies and ideas of what to buy, what to sell on Amazon and on eBay. Go to AskJordan.net. Scroll down a little bit on the right-hand side. You'll see the sign-up form. Hey, thanks for listening to the Ask Jordan Podcast. We'll see you again on our next episode.